See, one of the they ask for who represents Hinduism. So we know there's many mattas and many organizations. The oldest the oldest known are akhadas. Akhadas are sadhu groups. And the sadhu akhadas, as organized groups, they are the owners of the Kumbh Mela, which is the oldest recorded practice, tradition, ritual, whatever you want to call it, of our culture and of any culture in the world. So the history of the Kumbh Mela is a very solid history of who we are, because there is 8,000 years of recorded akhadas. Akhadas, when they have a Kumbh Mela, in a sense it's their event. They are the event managers and they are the event participants. All of us who go are invited guests. It's their event. You know, this is very interesting. Right now, officially and legally, akhadas own the Kumbh Mela. And many of the grounds where the Kumbh Mela is held are owned by the akhadas. But the number of people coming has grown so much, they need to get government lands, rent it, government takes over.
Infrastructural support.
And government gives infrastructure support. But the core Kumbh Mela is an akhada project. I talked to the 13 akhadas now. There used to be more, then they disintegrated, then they got reorganized, and they disintegrated. Adi Shankara reorganized them, revived them about 1400 years ago. Right now there are 13 active akhadas with 1 lakh members to 5 lakh members each, total of about 20 lakh members who are official sadhus. They are each got a name, identity, membership number, so it's a very formal thing. That's a very large group. Now these 13 akhadas have the Akhada Parishad, which is a kind of collection of all 13 represented by one. The Akhada Parishad, I'm delighted, they endorsed my book, which is the first time they endorsed the book, because they endorsed my book because actually I wrote an article on the Kumbh Mela and what dangers it sees. What are the dangers and threats concerning the Kumbh Mela, because it's getting out of hand and many people are infiltrating the Kumbh Mela and it might be in disarray. Every time there's a Kumbh Mela, the astronomical layout of the stars, the different nakshatras, is recorded very precisely. What was the map of the sky and who are the Mahamandaleshwars. Mahamandaleshwar is the head of each akhada. Who is the Mahamandaleshwar representing each of the akhadas who came, and their names and all that is recorded. So you can go back to the akhada records and there is software that validates that in that year,
wow,
in fact the sky was like that, you know, so that you can say, okay, if this was the state of the galaxies or whatever the different systems of stars, you can actually validate that this is not just made up, this is literally how it was. So this record people don't know about. So I was telling them, why don't you publish? You should publish a book on the history of the akhadas, the history of the Kumbh Mela, and this is the definitive history of who we are, older than Harappa Daro also, because that would be a huge narrative for our people to know. And they are very not very sophisticated modern people.
I'm a volunteer for this project.
Yeah.
Please enroll me.
Yeah. So this is the kind of project I love to do if there's resources, because they are very interested now. They realize that they are under threat, that now this business of being isolated sadhus, you cannot just go on because there's encroachment into their turf, into their lifestyle, and so they'll be just finished. There'll be no sadhus left in the next generation. Nobody wants to be one. So they are also interested in bringing out knowledge to educate the public. And if there were people interested, I mean, we would do these projects.